But if you close your eyes.
Alright guys, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to a new YouTube video, and this is going to be a video, as you can tell by the title. We're going to be talking about deloading, deload weeks, my philosophy towards them, how to incorporate them, and what a deload week looks for me. So this past week for me was a deload week. So a few things going into deload weeks, like leading up to it. Most people, okay, as you can see, I'm just gonna let my lifting play through, and I'm just gonna talk through it. I'm not talking to lifting, I'm talking to the deloading while you see my deloading clips. So to give you an idea of what that looks like. So a lot of people think a deload week, might be able to take the week off, or it's a very chill week, you don't have to really worry about that hard. And while yes, it tends to be a little bit chiller week, a deload is typically known as a low stress week. It's not a week off. If you take a week off, it completely defeats the purpose of a deload, and you'll almost lose adaptations. The purpose of a deload is so you can basically adapt, recover, and super compensate and elevate your performance. So the way to approach a deload is, if you're first of all, not everyone needs a deload. Typically, if you're a newer or beginner lifter, your progress is going to be very linear, and you can keep pushing that. But as you get more experience, you're gonna have to incorporate deload weeks in order to see the proper gains, because your straight curve looks more like this, but it's also gonna be a linear curve that looks like that. If you get what I'm saying. So now we're gonna talk about the way I approach a deload week, and the way most people should approach it. I don't like to use the word deload. I know some people call it like a transition week, maybe like a pivot week, just depending on who's referencing it. But what I like to do is I call it a reload week, because essentially what we're doing is our clip's empty and we're just reloading it so we can just keep on going. So I approach it with not a deload mindset, a reload mindset, because it's a low stress week, so the lifting is going to be a little bit easier, quote unquote, but that's the time that you really want to dial in and perfect your technique. And that's something you can really focus in on a deload. So essentially a deload, for like beginner lifters, you might look at a 10% reduction of volume. A little bit more experienced lifters, you're gonna drop volume maybe a little bit more, 20, even 30%, all the way up to 50%, just depending on their training age, what experience looks like. But it's basically a reduction in volume. It's kind of similar to a taper. We want to keep intensity not necessarily at the same, although it can be, but we're just going to lower intensity a little bit, and we're mainly just going to drop the volume. So what that could look like on a simplified version, let's just say the week before you did a 3x6 an RPE 7 to 8, you could come in today and do a 3x4 at an RPE 7, at RPE 6 at 7. That's typically what a deload would look like. You're getting a little bit less intensity, but the intensity is still staying up there, so you're still getting that stimulus, but volume is going to be a lot less, and we know volume is what causes fatigue, not necessarily intensity. That's why when you taper, intensity stays the same, but you're going to drop volume. Same thought process approaching a deload. So this past week, all my deload singles were RPE 6s, as you saw, and all my drop down work was RPE 7, and it was all very smooth. The reps were nice, short, and sweet, so I focused on getting each rep nice and perfect, which is something you can really do when you approach a deload. Do not approach it as a chill, easy week. Go with the mindset of getting perfect reps with light weight, because it should feel smooth and it should feel easy. That's the whole purpose of a deload, so then you can super compensate and really be better. So yeah, I just wanted to show you all my deloads. My sumo deadlift actually felt really good this week. Now granted, it was RPE 6 angled in with RPE 7, and the volume was down, of course, but it was definitely a positive. And that's one thing. Another thing a deload can do, let's just say you came off of a heavy volume block. Typically at the end of your volume blocks, you're going to be fatigued, your lifting is going to suffer, your technique's going to suffer, so you might be a little bit down on the confidence, might be second guessing, questioning a lot of stuff. But when you get into a deload week, you can really execute, and that can really make your confidence go up. So that's one thing. I just finished my deload week. I feel amazing right now, as you should. So I'm excited to see how I feel on Monday. So I'm looking forward to seeing how I feel on Monday. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you the thought process behind the deload. I hope I kind of explained it. I don't want this video to be super long. I just want it to be short, because a lot of people overthink this. Don't overthink it. Drop intensity, maybe 1 to 2 RPEs. Drop volume anywhere between 10 to 30 to 40%. Keep everything else the same. Focus on perfect reps, perfect technique. get your protein, get your sleep, get your water, and you're gonna be perfect. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. If you're new and you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. If you like this educational content, subscribe. I like making it. It's a little bit easier to make, and my life's not that interesting at the moment, so it's better than like whatever filming regular stuff. So I have a few ideas for my next video. I could either do a sumo breakdown, which I know I've teased a few times, or I could do a programming breakdown, which I think I might do like a 3-part programming breakdown series. If that's something you would like to see, for sure, drop down in the comments. But yeah, I hope that made sense, and I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, as always, let me know, and I'll catch you guys next time.